Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, I'm Brittany Healy. Thank you for clicking on my video. So today I am filming a uni themed video. So I'm just going to give you a bit of an insight on the first year of university, what to expect, what to take, and what it's like if you're moving out of your hometown to somewhere new and moving into accommodation. I've just finished my first year, so I'll give you a little bit of information on how I got by and what I did to stay on top of my work. So I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, so the first thing I want to address is how to fit in, because a lot of people get paranoid about where they fit and what friends they're going to make and if they're going to be feeling cautious in their class. But my advice to that is, in all honesty, just be yourself and mind your business. Like, just do whatever you're doing and don't be shy and don't be scared to be by yourself, because everyone is doing the exact same thing. You've all come from different places and you're all trying to get a degree. So just take it easy, and the friends you meet as you're going along will be the friends that you do get along with and will probably be your lifelong friends after uni. So don't make the error of rushing into a friend group straight away, because you're all nervous and you don't know what to do with yourself, so you kind of seek refuge together. But down the line you might think, oh, I don't really have anything to say or anything to talk about with these people, so you've just kind of got yourself in a situation that just makes it a bit awkward. So just take it easy and don't be scared to be by yourself, I would probably say, because everyone's doing the same thing. As long as you're attending these events in the intro of uni, because you normally do a week where it's just getting to know everyone in your class and making friends. So if you just go, show your face and just engage and ask questions, then you'll be completely fine. Just don't worry and stress too much about finding a group straight away, because it takes a bit of time. But if you are just chilling and doing what you're doing, not being hateful towards anybody, and you're just minding your business, then you will be fine. Like, you don't need to feel under pressure to be a certain way, act a certain way, be vocal, be quiet. You just don't need to. Like, everyone's kind of over that stage when they get to uni. They're just not impressed, so you just do whatever you're doing. And the next topic I want to address is how to take responsibility for yourself and stay on top of everything that will come your way. So whenever you go to uni, if you've moved out specifically, then you're responsible for everything. You're responsible for where you're living, you're responsible for doing all your work on time, doing it yourself, asking questions if you don't get it. There's nobody kind of checking up on you within the vicinity, so it's on you. You need to make sure that you know where you're going, you know who you're talking to, and you know what kind of questions you need to ask. So the way to do that is just do your reading before going to uni, because your university will send you millions and millions of emails on your module guides, on things that are going on in the uni, like newsletters, things you can get involved in. So do read them. A lot of people just kind of ignore them and dismiss them because they get millions, but take the time to read them and just pay attention to what you're doing and where you're going to be, because you might open doors for yourself and chat to people and get to know people before you even get there. So if you do have that opportunity, make sure you read up on your course, make sure you read up on your module guide, find out what kind of events are going on, find out when your freshers events are, find out where you live in, see if there's a Facebook group where people are meeting each other. Because I know when I first moved to uni, there was a group where I could join and I could meet my flatmates that I was going to have, and that kind of broke the ice before we even got there. So I would recommend doing that, but do be cautious just in case you end up in a situation that you're talking to a complete stranger. So just be careful and make sure what you're doing and who you're speaking to are legit. Just have your wits about you and be careful. You don't want to get there on the first day of uni and not even know when you're supposed to be in. So definitely research your module guides and when your assignments are, because you'll have to know. Because basically what uni do is you'll go in, you'll get your little week of introductions, and they'll sit down, they'll tell you a little outline of what's going to happen in this term. So just make sure you pay attention to that, because they don't remind you again. They'll say you've got an assignment due on this day, this is what it is, and until it's a week before, you won't know about it again. So just make sure you know what's coming and what you're going to have to do, because you might have to start thinking about it ahead of time. You don't want to leave it till last minute to save yourself the stress. Especially because I'm doing journalism, so it would just be a terrible idea for me to leave it until last minute, because I've got to reach out to people, I've got to arrange meetings and get stories. So to do that, you really got to be ahead of what's going on, and you need to make sure you understand before you start trying to do anything. Like, a piece of advice I always give to my friend was make sure you ask questions. Like, don't leave if you don't understand what the assignment is, because you're going to get home, you're going to try and write it and wing it, and you're not going to have a clue. You're going to get stressed, and then you've left it too late to kind of ask questions, because it might be the weekend by then, and then you're not back in uni until Monday. Next, I'm just going to talk to you about making the most of your new environment. So this mainly applies to you if you have moved out of your home for university and moved into accommodation in a different city, or just away from your house, like depending wherever you are. So I would definitely recommend just having a look around and see what's there. Make sure you go to all your open days and just get a feel for the place, and make sure you want to be there and you're going to be happy there. Because I mean, if you've not really made an effort to look and you get there and you're a year in and you hate it, then it's just going to be a waste of time, because you were ready and then you got there and now you're unsure. So I would just definitely make sure you're making an effort to kind of know what's going on. And if you move to moving into accommodation as well, I would 100% try to get to know your flatmates. Like, of course you might not all get along, it's a bunch of random people that have been put in a flat together, so it's an unlikely chance that you're all going to be friends. So just make the effort to be on a level, because you don't want it to be awkward, like walking around and someone's in your house and you don't have anything to say. Like, it's a bit weird. So you want to be on a level where you're kind of like neighbours, and if not, friends. So you just want to take it easy, because you don't have to be friends with everyone, don't get me wrong, but you just be on a level where it's not weird for you and not weird for them, because you're both in the same situation. You've moved out of home and you might be feeling like you're unsure about where you are, and you don't know what these people have got going on in their lives. So just be neutral so you're not caused anyone to feel uncomfortable. Do try and participate in Freshers Week. Like, of course, if you're not a drinker and you're not a fan of alcohol or drinking and going out, then Freshers Week might sound like a complete no to you. But it isn't necessarily all about going out freshers, because you get so many student voucher books and all sorts of things are going on. So if you don't like going out, then make an effort to go for food, or just be around in the town where you're living and be around with your flat, because that's who's going to be out most likely. So just make an effort to invite people. Like, you don't have to be nervous. If they say no, they say no, but just make the effort yourself so that you're not missing out on anything, because you don't want to look back on your uni and just have not been to any freshers events. Because I mean, why is it any different from school or like college? Or it's not, because you've not engaged in anything. So just make sure you're making an effort. Okay, so I just wanted to address getting a part-time job and studying at university. A lot of people do go down that route because they like to do quite a lot of activities on the side of uni and outside of uni and outside of work. So to have like a good time as well as like study and do well, you're gonna need a bit of money. Like, your loan will cover so far, but at the end of the day, that's your living expense. So that's for things like your rent and most things. It's not necessarily loads of leisure money. So I would 100% recommend getting a part-time job, or getting involved in some form of thing like voluntary work, just so you're in another community. Like, you've got more people to know. So you've got your flat, you've got your uni friends, and then you've got your work. So it just gives you somewhere to be and some kind of belonging somewhere, so you're not feeling isolated and by yourself when you're at home or doing whatever. You're not out, like, you could just be working. So yeah, definitely I would recommend getting a job. A lot of people like to live off the loan, but I don't think that's a good idea. Okay, so one of the issues with getting a job in university, it could be that you're struggling to manage your work hours with study time. So I would just make sure that you're not taking on too much work that you can't handle, because it can be a lot of pressure in work, because obviously you've got a job and they expect you to work. So just make sure you're taking on what you can handle, and make sure you've got enough time for yourself to sort yourself out and get a bit of a reminder on what you need to do. You don't want to just work and work and work, because that's not what you're there for. You're there to get a degree. Don't lose track of that. On the topic of money, I just want to address your savings and the whole loan and money situation in university. So obviously it's the first time you've moved out by yourself and you're responsible for a lot more than you were used to. You can't just rely on your mum to make sure there's food in the house, or look after you, keep your house warm and whatever. So I would just make sure that you have money saved all the time, just because what if something comes up, like a bill comes up that you really don't have the money for at the moment. You've got your savings you can dip into, because that's what it's there for. You need to cover things that have to be paid. So I would just be very cautious not to spend all of your loan on going out. Like, as tempting as it is, because it's just there, like you've just got a load of money and you want to go out and do all these things, you've met all these people and you're excited, but I would just be careful with how much you're spending on doing these like extra curricular activities, because your loan is your living wage. Like, this is what you need to use to pay your rent. This is what you need to use to make sure you're eating and make sure you're living like okay. Like, you might even want a gym membership or a little extras, a car. So if you're planning on getting stuff like that, you need a job to accompany this like leisure. So I would just definitely be very careful with what you're spending. Like, obviously you're allowed to have fun, but I mean, just be mindful that you might end up with zero and you've still got rent to pay. So just be mindful of that. Okay, one last thing I wanted to address is making the most of your uni experience as a whole. So this is basically participating in things, like engaging in school, university life. So I'd probably recommend being a peer mentor or some kind of ambassador for your school if you do get the opportunity to do that. And I would also make sure that you're engaging in freshers and societies, like little groups you can join, you know, just extracurricular things. So you might want to join a football like club, or you want to join cheerleading, or you want to join, I don't know, like some chess or something. Like, there's millions of different clubs, so you can even join that through the university, because you're going to meet all these incredible people. Like, definitely learn from who you meet as well. That's a huge piece of advice, because all these people you might need them one day. Like, you're going to meet all these people, they're all doing different things, they're all like have different skill sets to you. So it's always great to learn from people and understand and just accept like a difference, rather than kind of seclude yourself to what you're doing. Because I mean, in the future you're going to come across different people in different careers, and these might be the people you went to university with. So make sure you're like learning people and understanding how other people work and what other people are doing. When I first started my course, I was a bit nervous to kind of put anything out there of like my work or something I'd been doing, because I was just, I don't know, I didn't want anyone to see it, I suppose. So being in university and being around these like different people who are confident and putting this stuff out there, it was quite like inspiring. So it was nice to see that and be in an environment where that is like encouraged and you feel comfortable doing it. Because I'm on journalism course, so everyone's got their own little blogs, they're all writing, they're all doing something, so it's all extracurricular but tied into their future careers. And I think that's great, like, because you just need to support these people, because you're going to learn, you're going to be on a good level. Like, these are people you could be working with one day, so you just want to understand where different people are coming from and be willing to take on a different skill set or do something a different way, because it might be better than the way you're doing currently. So just be mindful of that. Alright, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do have any other questions to do with uni, then leave a comment below and I'll respond for you. If you do want to see more of my videos, then you can subscribe below, and you can hit the bell icon and get a notification every time I upload. Thanks for watching.